all in all, we're really well positioned to become a really important strategic supplier, and that's what we're going to be focusing on as part of these studies, this phase of development.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Empire Metals Managing Director, Sean Bunn. Sean, very good to speak with you. You're out with an update on your Pitfield project, and you've flagged improved grades, recoveries, and a simpler flow sheet. What matters most for Pitfield's economics?
Well, all three of those points that we raised there is, incredibly important to us. Of course, grade, recovery are fundamentals to any mining, process. But I think the real takeaway here is the fact that we've been able to come up with a relatively straightforward, quite simple flow sheet. And that is quite unusual for the titanium industry.
Sean, why does whole of ore flotation and low temperature leaching change the game compared with earlier test work?
Well, what we found is the whole of ore has been slightly more selective in terms of how we're getting the titanium minerals into a concentrate. So floating the whole of ore has allowed us to play around with a couple of variables. And one of the most important things about this is the rejection of the gangue minerals. So what's highlighted here is we've been able to get up to 80% rejection of the material in the ore that we don't actually want to take forward to the next step of the process. And that is going to have a big impact on our, for instance, acid consumptions.
Sean, with pilot testing and a preferred flow sheet coming up, what milestones should investors watch out for over the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, well, we think that 2026 is going to be a stellar year for Empire. We talk about the piloting process that's going to come through in we're going to start piloting by the end of Q1. Our studies, scoping studies, moving into more detailed studies will kick away. And what's really important for us is with the piloting and the expansion of our test work to larger scale, we're going to be making more products. So our titanium pigments, mixes of various titanium products will be coming out of the piloting. And what's really important about that is it allows our marketing team to get on the road. We can get out there and start talking to customers. We can start to evaluate what the market actually wants. Where's the high value premium end of the market that we need to target? So all in all, I think 2026, huge year. We'll also be building up on our resource base. We plan to start drilling again in the next couple of months. Quite a big, extensive drill program, all aimed at giving us optionality around the mining plan. So, great year, lots of catalysts coming forward.
Just finally, Sean, given the pigment and titanium metal pathways, where do you see Pitfield ultimately sitting in the global titanium supply chain?
Titanium's going through a massive, it's a real fundamental change. Geopolitical pressure, we've talked about this before. Titanium's a critical metal. And there are a lot of Western countries seeking to secure long-term supply from a company like Empire with its project in a tier one, safe jurisdiction, fabulous mining operations all around us. So we're really, really excited by the fact that we're well positioned to come into the market in the next few years and be a really important critical supplier. Remember that high-grade feedstocks are in scarce supply. Pitfield has the ability to produce these. We've got the scale, the grade, the purity has been proven. So all in all, we're really well positioned to become a really important strategic supplier. And that's what we're going to be focusing on as part of these studies, this phase of development.
Well, Sean, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Sean Bunn, Managing Director of Empire Metals.